Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For OG versus Na'Vi in game 2. We saw OG take that first game pretty damn convincingly. It seemed like Na'Vi's lineup, they were really heavily reliant on the Doom and the Pango to make enough space for the Spectre to try and keep him in that game. Unfortunately, the Doom and the Pango just ended up getting screwed over time after time, and unfortunately, the Spectre just could not come online fast enough to actually try and make any space, so they end up losing it. So see if Na'Vi's going to be able to rally and maybe think of something new to try and keep themselves in this one, or if they're just going to crumble and get 2-0 by OG. We'll have to wait and see. But OG, they're leading up their first pick with the Omni Knight. Again, that's probably going to go into the hands of No-Tail. Just this super annoying support, which just makes all the goddamn calls on his side just that much better. Give him that status resistance, constant heals, the physical protection from the Guardian Angel. Really obnoxious. So we'll see them run that yet again. We'll see if maybe they're going to go for like a sort of similar plan. We'll probably wait and see what Na'Vi are going to grab instead. But Na'Vi actually going to take the Rubik. And OG immediately follow up with the Morphling once more. So we're probably going to see Na'Vi ban out that Sven, because I don't think they want to have that double Superman in bullshit. Like, no, I think they're just done with that. I do not think they want that at all. So we'll probably see that Sven get banned. But we'll see what Na'Vi's going to pick up for their second hero. The Rubik, it can be pretty good up against the Omni, so you can potentially steal those Heavenly Graces, and obviously just try and give that bonus status resistance and HP regen and bonus strength over to your own cause. And obviously, because it's in hand Rubik, it will be that much more effective. Na'Vi's actually going to take the Ancient Apparition as their second pick, so there is always going to be that Ice Blast coming out onto the Morphling to try and actually negate that Strength Morph, and just make sure he actually comes down in these fights. So OG, they ban on the Faceless Void. That would be an annoying hero to catch out the Morphling. Easily sets up for the Ice Blast as well. They take that away. Na'Vi, they take away the Enigma. Was in the previous game in the hands of Seb. I actually ran out of Tiny as well. I can't remember who actually on the side of Na'Vi plays Tiny. I think Iceberg takes it for the mid. And Roger plays it for the 4. But I mean, the 2 supports already picked up on the side of Na'Vi, so that Tiny ban would definitely be focused towards Iceberg. So maybe they just want to make sure they get rid of any sort of heroes that can quickly burst down the Morphling in the early levels, just to make sure that Topson has a slightly easier time perhaps, especially if he obviously gets hit by the Ice Blood before the initial gank. But obviously, by the time the Ancient Apparition gets level 6, the Morphling would be like level 9 or so. Maybe 8. So by that time anyway, it would be a little bit more difficult to get those sort of early Avalanche toss combos onto him anyway. Let's see what else they grab. So instead they ban out the Storm Spirit as well. Obviously, also comes equipped with that Orchid Malevolence. That can just silence off the Morphling before he gets the Strength Morph off. But they need to be after just like one more sort of key lockdown hero to really benefit on the side of Na'Vi. This is that they need a lockdown hero to benefit on the Ice Blast coming out from the Ancient Apparition to actually set these up pretty solidly. To see what they can go for. They actually ban out the Beastmaster themselves. That could have been a pretty good pick for a general. Obviously, it is that hero that does set up for those Ice Blasts. That stun lasts for a ridiculous amount of time. Maybe like a Kraken? Kraken? Titan, I don't know why I said Kraken. Instead, they're actually going for the Mars. So here's a pick that got swiped away from the previous game. But I mean, this does set up for OG to potentially just go for that Lifestealer pickup. Obviously, just to counter the Mars and laner phase. Plus, the Rage also heavily reducing the amount of damage that comes from the Ancient Apparition. But obviously, if the Lifestealer gets hit by that blast either way, then the whole Lifestealing aspect of the Lifestealer is going to be completely negated. So maybe that alone is going to be enough to make OG not want to go for this Lifestealer instead. Maybe they want to pick something else as their position 1. They could go for the Juggernaut, purely for the fact that when he goes into his Omni Slash, I don't think he carries on taking damage, so he would actually survive the Ice Blast, or just at least stop himself from just getting taken down tons of damage. Then again, it is his healing ward getting countered, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we'd wonder if Topson still go for that Ags build to go as the Juggernaut and then get in the little mini Omni Slash. I can't remember what it's actually called, the mini Omni Slash. Side Slash? Who knows? Not me. I don't play Jug very often. I used to once upon a time, but that was before he had an Ags. Way back when. I mean, OG really thinking about this third pick, using a lot of their reserve time for this. Maybe they're just trying to work out if they actually want to go for this Lifestealer or not. I mean, it is just a standard pickup to go up against the Mars, but they actually can go for the Spectre instead. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Topson to try and become this real hectic force in the early to mid game, and just make Spectre for mid 1, just to get his farm on the go. And after we actually go back to the Doom, maybe they don't think that the Doom was a problem in that previous game. Maybe they're just a little bit of the fact that there wasn't really much damage to follow up the aggression coming out from the Doom and the Pango. So maybe this time with the Mars and the AA plus Rubik, they can get online a little bit soon. But I mean, they're already up against a Spectre, so we'll see if maybe they're going to go for a more earlier base lineup and just try and close out this game before the Spectre can become a real big beefy force. Maybe. I'll have to see what they are going to grab. But actually going to go for the Earth Spirit one more time. It sucks that he got so many nice pickoffs with that with the Earth Spirit in the previous game. So we'll see if he's able to perform like that again. But even still, it looks like OG, they're after Seb's hero, and Na'Vi, they're still after V-Tune's hero. Could maybe see a PL perhaps for the side of Na'Vi, or does a PL really do that great against Spectre, because the Dispersion does make quick work of those illusions? So maybe not the PL actually. A Slark perhaps? Slark's he's even got a way to purge off. Well, it's not really the easiest way to purge off the silence going up from the Earth Spirit. You have to time the Dark Pact really well. Take away the Alchemist. The Alchemist would have been good. A way just to get real beefy before the Spectre can actually get any sort of items online, and force Na'Vi into some real awkward early fights. Oh, well, Na'Vi would have been forcing them into awkward fights, but OG ban out the Alchemist just to make sure they don't come up against that. He took away the Anti-Mage as well, a hero that once he gets that Valkyrie in line, his farming speed just ramps up so much that he really outpaces the Spectre quite quickly. So they're just trying to take away some of those like big farming mechanics. I mean, Vichu is like Lifesteal is one of Vichu's higher picked heroes, but I don't think it's. I don't know. It's not really the greatest in this lineup. Obviously, we're going to see what OG is going to pick up for Seb in the offlane first, as they do have the first pick. It's a pretty quick decision. They actually go for the Darkseer. Okay. So there's not any sort of like big AoE abilities coming out from the side of OG that could really benefit from this vacuum a great deal. I mean, yeah, it's quite odd. The orbs coming out from the Darkseer will make the Spectre deal even more sort of AoE damage in those fights. Makes him a bit more of a frontliner. We'll have to wait and see. But Na'Vi do actually go for that Lifestealer. Pretty much just a very comfortable hero for VTune. He enjoys playing it quite a bit. But I'm not sure... It can stand toe-to-toe against the Spectre. So they're not really going to go for any sort of plan to just try and, like, outpace the Spectre and try and get your position 1 beefier before he can. The Lifestealer and the Spectre, they farm at pretty similar paces. Neither has any sort of like key farming mechanic. And there's no way for the rest of the team to really ramp up that farming mechanic either. So perhaps we could see like a Midas coming out from both of these heroes. I know sometimes a Lifestealer can build a Battle Fury, but he doesn't need to actually keep pace with the Farm of the Spectre. So we'll see if they're actually just going to swap this Lifestealer to go for like an early fighting build, go for like a quick armlet, and then maybe transition that into a Desolator as well, and just try and fight as early as possible. Their lineup definitely supports that. The Doom does come online pretty quickly, can make space as soon as he has his level 6 pretty much. And all the rest of the side of Na'Vi as well, all pretty potent just with levels. So we'll see what Na'Vi's game plan actually is. Obviously the build from VTune is heavily going to dictate how Na'Vi is actually going to play this game. But I mean, I think I'd be happy just to see him go for that armlet and just try and go for some fights, team up with the rest of his squad. Bless me. Because I mean, for OG, it's pretty much just Topson, who's a real key fighter. Seb can be a little bit annoying as the Darkseer, but he's not exactly like a huge damage dealer. Just heavily rely on his Iron Shell to do quite a bit of his actual DPS in these fights. I have to wait and see how it all works out. Half. Normally. That's good. Nice little bit of friendly competition there. They're all high-fiving each other. No hard feelings after that first game. VTune's happy to take this second one. You've hit a wall. Big vacuum onto high ground. Oh, where are you, Seb? Where's those big vac plays? Oh, that's no good. Oh, sucks, so you couldn't even contest that bottom bounty. So it actually ends up being 3-for-1 bounties favouring Na'Vi. So once again, Na'Vi has a slight little lead in the very start. Obviously, in the first game, it was a bit better with VTune getting the first blood. But even still, you know, an advantage is an advantage. You'll take what you can get. So it's exactly the same matchup in the mid as we saw in the previous game. I think the CS was pretty damn even for a large portion of it. No kills actually happened in the mid, so maybe we'll see if something's changed or if it's pretty much going to go the same sort of way. Both of these two just trade and farm and not really getting any sort of big advantage over the other. We'll see maybe if now Topson decides to go for the early morph and then try and steal that Devour. I don't think it even set him back that much. It's only 50 mana to cast, and you get the Devour as well. So I don't know. It's just me like theory crafting. Nothing too exciting. So I always want to fly. Actually starting off level 1 with that chilling touch, just to be able to try and harass out Saxor a little bit. Tries to make a little bit of space. Oh, meanwhile up top, no tail. Yeah, just take a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, I think if Na'Vi was these two heroes were level 2, they might potentially got a kill there. The telekinesis bringing it back into the range of the spear coming out from General if they were both at level 2. Unfortunately enough for them, they were a whole creep wave behind. So no such luck. The CS in the mid, just slightly favouring Iceberg this time. I think last time it was just favouring Topson. So you never know, maybe this slight little difference can actually turn the tides. Seven Saxor, quite a bit of pressure there onto VTune. You've hit a wall! So I mean, there's not like a huge amount of kill threat down bottom. I think only if Saxor's like rolling boulder gets blocked or something, he'll fall. So, I mean, even if he then, like, Seb will just surge him up, so he'll just run away even if he gets open wounds. So there shouldn't really be many kills down bottom. Potentially always one fly could die. And then sort of same up top, that telekinesis does absolutely nothing. He lifted him up and he instantly drops to the floor again. Lasting only half a second, level 1. That's sad. That's real sad. So even still up top, normally a Rubik and Mars can actually set up some nice early kills, but with this Omni Knight, just, you know, the stuns and everything with these constantly having graces, just going to reduce the effectiveness of how they're able to disable him. Look, mid one, it's a Spectre all alone against 2, and once again, he's able to actually position himself quite aggressively, and there's nothing that they could do really against him. Normally, when you're up against a Spectre, it's like, okay, it's a Spectre. They're pretty useless in the lane. We could probably bully him out and make a lot of pressure. No such luck this time. Always want to fly. Looks like he might potentially fall down bottom. That final little whack from Seb finishes him off. Sax is getting low himself. There's some Iron Shell skill committed by Seb. Roll forward from Sax, just trying to hold VTune in his space. And they do actually bring him down, so it's a double kill going for Seb. So completely forget what I was saying earlier, that the fact that there shouldn't really be many kills down here. But that shot, Saxor and Seb just showing how they could play this lane and getting 2 pretty easy kills. Saxor got close to dying, but not close enough. Ooh. I think Saxor just wanted to suicide to the tower just so he could respawn. But it does actually still give the credit of the kill to VTune, so that's a little bit of extra gold for him. So a little bit unfortunate there for Saxor, maybe just mistiming the suicide. Normally. It's 5-minute bounty spawn. Saxor's going to clear up the bottom 2, and Roger's going to do the same with the top. He's actually holding. Maybe he's thinking I might have been a bolt. Oh, actually in the mid. Iceberg, he got Soda killed Topson there with that Doom available. He must have just caught Topson off before he could get his strength morph up. Yeah, he's still very heavily swapped over to Agi at the moment. So nice little play there by Iceberg, getting the free kill. A little bit of extra space for him, and as we see on the CS chart as well, he is slightly ahead of Topson on that. So he's already 700 gold over the top of this Morphling, as well as the assisted farming speed of a level 4 Devour. Going very, very nicely for him so far this game. So see if maybe he's able to make a little bit more space than he could in the previous game. So I definitely think VTune is going to need a little bit of assistance down bottom. Actually, just forget that. VTune's actually second on net worth. He's 700 gold himself over the top of mid 1. I thought mid 1 was actually doing pretty well up here, but he's actually 6th on the CS chart at the moment. So maybe General Na'Vi, General and Roger are actually able to apply a decent amount of pressure onto him and actually limit the amount he's able to farm. Looks like Saxor might want to rotate towards the mid lane, but he actually ends up getting spotted by those 2 wards, so he's going to have no such luck with any sort of gank. coming from that direction. Seb's even now forced to go into the jungle himself. So this is just a completely free lane now for Vichun. He's just, yeah, he's quite happy just to free farm now. So Iceberg doesn't even have to really focus any of his attention towards this lane. He's going to be able to focus onto other sides. He's actually just going straight to the triangle. I'm going to try and clear up a couple of these stacks. Getting pretty lucky with these crits from the Alpha Wolf Sword. Devouring up the Minotaur as well, so he will have that stun eventually. I'm sure it was the main Minotaur that he devoured, wasn't it? Why did he not get the stomp? Am I misreading how the skill works? You know, which group kind of special abilities that it possessed if autocast activated or not. Oh, okay. So if you actually got it autocasted, you don't get the creep's abilities. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. There you go, you learn something new every day, folks. Keep that thing autocasted and you get to keep your abilities. Very nice. So now, Iceberg is rotate up top. He's got this Doom available. Going to chuck it straight away onto mid one. We can see if No-Tail's able to keep him supported. He's going to pin him to the tier 1. Massive TP rotations coming out from the side of OG. And there's Seb. He's going to put the Surge onto mid one. He's going to be able to escape. Sucter is rolls just off the mark. In general, I don't think he's going to be able to walk this way. Iceberg's actually recommit himself. Going to try and make a bit more space for General. He's taking quite a bit of damage. And there's the vacuum bringing it back. And he will fall. And now mid one's even re-engaging with the Spectral Dagger. But Iceberg is still pretty damn quick. The roll forward from Sucks is still just slightly off the mark. But Seb's keeping chase. Iceberg's taking quite a bit of damage. Another rotation is coming in from Vichun, but it's not enough to help him out. And Iceberg ends up falling. Now Vichun needs to be careful. He's all alone. Another TP is going to be coming out from Always Want to Fly, trying to provide as much assistance as they can. And Rogers rotate around from the side as well. Sucks is just able to roll off down to the river. And they all managed to escape. So that actually ends up being a 2-for-0 trade. And once again, the first rotation coming out from Iceberg, it's not successful. They cannot find this kill onto mid one, and it's the Doom used again, so he can't do anything else for another 80 seconds. He just has to fall back a farm, and that's going to allow mid one just a little bit more space to get a couple more components for some items online. Once again, Iceberg's going for that first item of the BKB. So it's a purely defensive build, just so he can like run in there and not really care about getting slowed down from the rest of OG. But I mean, there's not even any stuns on the side of OG, apart from the Rolling Boulder that's coming out from Saxa and the Vacuum. Those are the actual only 2 stuns on OG, and they're not even like super reliable stuns at all. So maybe you could have gone for a different build, perhaps. Maybe I would have liked to see something like a Shiva's Guard coming out from Iceberg instead. Just try and provide a little bit of assist like that. But General Always Want to Fly. It looks like they found a really easy grab down to mid one. He doesn't have that Spectral Haunt available to try and dodge this. So he ends up being a free kill. But meanwhile, exactly the same sort of thing happens on the other side of the map. And Vichun ends up falling into a 3-man gank from OG. So it sort of balanced itself out in the end. Maybe slightly better for Na'Vi, seeing as how it only took 2 heroes to kill the position 1 on the side of OG rather than 3, so just slightly less experience divvied up between those 2. But even still, the farm between the 2 position 1s is still Vichun just slightly ahead by 800 gold. I don't actually see what build Vichun is going. So he's got phase boots. He's got Sacred Relic queued up. What the hell is that Sacred Relic going to be? Is he going to go for Radiance? Is this actually going to be a Radiance on the Lifestealer? It's not something you really see very often. Mid one down bomb, he's left all alone. Still no special horn for 20 seconds. The Doom is available from Iceberg. Nice spear, connects there from Iceberg, gives him the vision. And mid one stunned in place. And once again he drops. And a few rotations now from OG. The one trying to make something. There's a goddamn bounty on the floor. What the hell? Luckily, Always Want to Fly just manages to grab it, but General did already fall. The point blank Ice Blaster connection from Always Want to Fly does connect onto Saxa, and he ends up dropping, and Seb has to retreat. So it's another 1-for-1 trade, but at least this time it's a support for the position 3, but I mean, it was the wall from the Darkseer committed as well. So it's not exactly like it's the biggest trade in the world. Pretty even, to be honest. So I think Na'Vi's, they're happy with that, seeing as how they managed to get the kill onto the Spectre as well. But yeah, I'm a little bit confused about what this random Sacred Relic's for. I mean, he's got his armlet ready, so he could start getting involved in some early fights if he wanted to. Oh, am I just like missing something really obvious here? What? Oh, so he's actually going for a nullifier. Okay. So what's the big target for this nullifier? Does the nullifier actually apply break, or is this a permanent like dispelling debuff? Continuing dispels the target anytime the target is attacked. It'll be slowed. Okay, so it's just a dispel. It's not a break, so it's not going to get rid of dispersion on mid 1. It will get rid of his blade mail at least. And I suppose it'll also dispel Iron Shell and Surge. That's going to be coming out from Seb, perhaps. It's interesting. It's quite interesting. We'll see how this build ends up paying off for him. It's definitely an item which you don't see very often. You really don't. I'm not sure whether if that's just from like pro players forgetting it exists, or whether if it's just like an item which it's very situational. There's not a huge amount of heroes that it's really that beneficial against. But we'll have to wait and see how it's actually affected, how he uses it in this game. So Thompson, once again, he's got his Dragon Lance online and he's building for that first item of the Aghs. So who's he going to be turning on to this time? Is he just going to be focused on turning into Seb, perhaps? What's the Aghs upgrade for? Increases wall length. Okay, so the bonus Aghs doesn't really work that great with him. And the Aghs Global Guardian Angel. Maybe it's for the Aghs for the Spectre, because will it? I know you don't get the ultimate, but it gives you a second skill which isn't classed as an ultimate. So if you turn into the Spectre, it will give you this sort of solo illusion use. Oh, Na'Vi, they tried to make a move there onto the top of it. They couldn't find the connection, but the rest of the OG have actually rotated around. The arena gets committed there by General, but it's purely defensive. They can't quite find the space to save everyone else. They do manage to find a kill on Suxer. It looks like No-Tail might drop himself. Iceberg now having to just go for the TP out, but unfortunately doesn't time it correctly, and his BKB runs out, and Iceberg actually ends up dropping. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade favouring OG, and that was the BKB usage from Iceberg as well. He didn't even use his Doom. I'm quite surprised why that was still online. Maybe it's because General, just everyone else completely bailed. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there from Na'Vi. Half of them decided to stay and fight, the other half decided to bail. A little bit unfortunate for them, just not quite on the same page. Very aggressive TP coming in from General. Maybe they just want to try and get it to Nance this tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, though, Suxer and Seb, they've actually found an easy grab on towards one fly. It hits both of them with a point-blank Ice Blast. So it looks like Suxer's going to fall for this. Will they be able to find anyone else? Probably not. They're all able to bail. They don't have any other way to close the gap. Who ended up getting that tower? So Big One even got the tower last hit, so General wasn't able to deny that as well. Pretty close now for Seb to finish up this Guardian Greaves. Only 500 gold. They will definitely give his team a little bit more survivability in these fights. Is there any sort of things that would even purge off? There's no silences on the side of Na'Vi. It would purge off the open wounds, but I mean you've already got the surge for that as well. So it's literally just going to be for the heals. It's not really too worried about the whole purging effect coming out from it. Is Vichun still? Yeah, he's still got this nullifier queued up. Suxer. He runs into Iceberg. I brought a boulder. I don't think he actually realised he was there. I think that was a connection by accident. So Iceberg's going to carry on chasing onto him. Dealing quite a bit of damage, but Suggs is going to be able to roll away, keep himself safe. And no one's going to die this time. Still, quite a few heroes on the side of Na'Vi, though, just committed around the Dire jungle. So we'll see if they're going to maybe potentially want to group up and make some sort of move happen, seeing as how they have all of their big ultimates online. They've got the Arena, they've got the Ice Blast, they've got the Doom. But it doesn't look like they're going to really prioritise much aggression. Maybe just want to get their next set of tier 2 items and then potentially make a move afterwards. There is that Grove Bow online. That's going to be nice in the hands of Always Want to Fly. Going to make those chill and touch right clicks a little bit more potent. Everyone likes having a Grove Bow on an Ancient Apparition. We've all played Dire Tide and ran it as an Ancient Apparition, gone for that pure chill and touch build. It's just for the lols. So Ag's now online for top zone, just getting delivered on the courier now. So we'll see who he's actually going to prioritise for targets. So Na'Vi able to find the tier 1 in the mid lane. Looks like Icebergie's really close to finished up his Blink Dagger. It's basically exactly the same build as we saw in the previous game. Like Phase Boots into Drums, into BKB, into Blink Dagger, so he's not really making any sort of adjustments for it. Oh, down bottom, General, he actually gets the connection onto Thompson. The Ice Blast coming in, it's just about going to connect. Oh, he actually just misses! It pushes him away from the arena! And unfortunately, that's not going to be any sort of setup, so Thompson's going to be able to walk that off. 2 big ultimates wasted, doesn't get any sort of connection. At least the Ice Blast is a pretty low cooldown, but the arena's gone for over a minute. And Na'Vi, they were actually taking the Roche, but they decided to go for that move instead. Unfortunately, I think that might have been a little bit of a mistake, so that's going to delay this. We'll see if maybe OG are going to read this move and try and contest this Roche from happening. Beatrice's like, Iceberg, can you step closer, please? I can't tank. Iceberg, you need to go underneath him, man. Tank it. Look, now General's going to walk in the front. Jesus, that took way too long. Iceberg was like, I don't want to be hit. Screw you. So OG, they're now coming in though. Roshan, he's getting pretty low. He's on to about 5th HP. We'll see if they're able to engage before this. Roshan actually ends up falling. Roll forward there from Thompson. It does actually connect. We'll see who able to get the Aegis. It doesn't actually end up going to Vichun though, so they still have that from Na'Vi. They're going to start laying to No-Tail though. He's taking a lot of damage. He even pops his Guardian Angel, but it's not going to be able to save him. The Nullify there purges it away. He falls in seconds. Now they're going to focus their efforts onto Seb. He's trapped into the rest of the pit. He's getting really low as well. And he ends up dropping. It's just the 2 supports for the 2 supports at the moment. Actually, mind that Seb's gone down. And now it's just Vichun under attack from everyone. General comes in to try and lend a little bit of assistance. It's going to force everyone away, but the rest of OG just changed targets and dive onto Iceberg instead. So now it's just the 2 members of Na'Vi left. Iceberg, General, he gets caught out. He drops all alone. Vichun just has to go for the Rage TP out. So it actually ends up being a 5-for-2 trade, despite the fact they had that Aegis. It looked like it was going to go really well there for Na'Vi to begin with, but unfortunately it didn't matter, and they ended up dropping. They focused a lot of their early spells onto No-Tail, but it was too late. He already got his Guardian Angel off, he got everything else he needed to off, so it did not matter the fact that he died. And we sort of saw the advantage of that Nullifier there, that it did purge away the Guardian Angel, but I mean, it was just purging their way onto No-Tail. It doesn't really matter that much after he'd already got all the stuff he needed to. So I think maybe if they got the Doom onto him before he could get the GA off and whatnot, then potentially they could have made some sort of big counterplay, but it just didn't quite work out that way. Even a Radiant's now online for mid 1. We see a bit of smoke on smoke action. Sarkzut dives straight into the back, runs into 3 heroes. Now he's trapped all alone. He's going to try to fall back into the trees. And now Vichun to the back. Seb just poking upon it. Another roll fall from Sasa connects. Vacuum pulls two together, and now Topson jumps in himself, gets the connect onto General. Another roll fall from Suxos, keeping General locked in place forever, but there's the Infest coming up from V-Tune, going to force him to fall back. Now V-Tune, though, pops his rage, charge in. The Ice Blast, it actually connects onto two, even pinning mid one to the side. He's taking a lot of damn damage. He's actually going to drop from this. So Na'Vi, they're finally taking a nice advantageous fight, and Topson just has to bail. So at last, Na'Vi finds something. Oh, the Nullifier comes out from V-Tune, but it actually ends up getting dodged by Saxon there with the Glimmer Cape. Now Topson being charged on, but it doesn't matter. He turns into the Earth Spirit, easily able to just roll away. What the hell was that super long range kick? What the hell? He like kicked him with his mind. That's some serious telekinesis stuff. What's that all about? Dude, still, even so, really, really nice play by Na'Vi. Finally getting something good out of this. Taking down 2 kills. Nice kill onto the mid one as well. Just wants to delay his game as much as possible. But that lovely arena into the Ice Blast. Oh, they lift him up, hold him in place. Ice Blast is going to connect. So that's going to reduce all of his effective HP regeneration. But here comes mid one. He special haunts in. Always want to fly. Gets trapped towards the back. He's pretty easy. Drops to second. Nice vacuum hold. Pulls back the 2 cores. They even now commit the Doom onto mid one. They hit him with Nullifier as well. But they're trying to heal up there from No Tail. Keep him sustained for now. He's surviving quite well. Meanwhile, Topson's is laying into him. Out comes the Guardian Angel after the Nullifier worn off. So now the rest of OG are able to turn around. Roger fell in the backlines just from Suxo, kicking him in the face. Now Iceberg has to retreat. He's infested up, so he's going to be able to run away pretty fast. Seb, he doesn't have a vacuum for quite a while. Does have a surge available now, though. He's actually going to use it on Suxo, but he runs completely opposite direction. But now Na'Vi, they're going to turn around. Nice arena, traps in 3. No Tails drops in a second. Seb quickly falls as well. Topson's trying to stand his ground. It's just him up against everyone else there. He dives forward, trying to get the kill onto Iceberg at least. The point blank Ice Blast does come out. It actually slightly connects on Topson. So Topson ends up falling. Now it's just mid one and Suxo against V-Tune and always want to fly. V-Tune just heavily focused onto Suxo. It looks like he will actually fall. Blocks that final roll away. Mid one himself focused on to always want to fly. Now it's just carry on carry. Mid one, he has to bail. It looked like he probably could have just stayed in turn and kept that fight going. But he bails instead, so everyone dies apart from the 2 carriers on both sides. Absolutely chaotic fight. 4 for 4, well, 4 for 5 technically, as there was actually a dieback from Always Want to Fly, but I mean, it's pretty damn even. It's nearly an identical trade, just a tiny bit of bonus XP and gold going towards OG. I think that's purely as a result of this dieback. But, I mean, I don't think Na'Vi mind too much about that. Obviously, I think... Well, actually, no. I think they probably want to be a little bit more advantageous. Seeing as how OG... They've got the Spectre, so the longer this game goes on, I think OG is just going to scale that a little bit better. But even still, very chaotic fight. Just... People just disengaging, re-engaging, jumping in, jumping out. Dying. Lots of dying. Lots of gold. But, I mean, because everyone did die, neither team was able to get any sort of objective out of that. So, it's basically just like a board reset. Everyone just falls back into their sort of default positions, trying to farm up in the couple of places that are available. So, Manta Style coming up next for V-Tune. He's only about 100 gold away from it, so he's going to have it online for the next engagement. And he's got the Scardy queued up for his 3rd item. 4th item? I suppose you count Armlet. So Topson is literally just using his morph now just to target this Spirit. Obviously, it's not quite as nice as being able to target onto a Sven, but even still, everyone up top, they're making the moves onto mid one. Actually, they change their target onto Seb. V-Tune just goes for the Rage TP out. Always Want to Fly ended up dropping from the focus coming down from Topson. Roger looks like he might end up getting caught out himself. Roll forward once again from Topson. They're just hunting him down, and Rubik falls. So it ends up being 2 quick kills, going for a Na'Vi there. I think after they tried to make a little move onto Seb, but unfortunately there was not enough of them there to be actually bring him down in time. Oh, cheeky little carry kill there from mid one. Now Topson with that Lincoln's online. It's going to be even more difficult now for Iceberg to try and get an easy doom off onto him and hold him in place, and just stop him from being super obnoxious in these fights. Especially as this Earth Spirit just flying around constantly. Quite a few heroes grouped up for Na'Vi down the bot lane. Maybe want to try and set something up. They do have a double damage, about half duration left on Iceberg. I don't think they're going to find anyone in this amount of time though. There is actually mid one though. He's come to this creep wave to farm it up. And Na'Vi see this. They're all here ready and waiting. They might try and make a move and get this kill. Mid one's actually going to head into the jungle to try and farm up the creep camps. They're actually just going to run down the lane. Iceberg set himself up in the trees, ready and waiting for this. The ward nearly spots him out. Actually, nice little use there. From the, I thought maybe he was going to bait him out with just the one illusion. But well read though by OG, just completely fall back. Maybe realising that, you know, there's no one farming up mid, there's no one farming up top. This tower's just getting beat on. They have no vision on anyone else. So they were probably expecting some sort of move to happen down there, and very well read by them. Falls back just in time. Still just huge amount of vision though committed from the side of Na'Vi, this bottom jungle area. Really want to make sure they can see any sort of moves coming from that direction. Roll forward from Saxo, connects onto Wisdom on the fly. He will get pushed aside by General, but there's nothing that can save him. And he drops. Only a few hits required there from mid one. Oh, he actually managed to find a connection onto Iceberg. Suns him up from the side. He's going to force him out to use his BKB. He's going to have to run away. He's already down to a 6-second charge now. Mid one is just running forwards. He does not care that the fact that he's pretty much all alone amongst everyone on the side of Na'Vi. Just still charging along. Everyone just has to fall back. Actually, they're ready and waiting for Roshan to spawn. He's still about a minute and 15 away. Oh, the two couriers run into each other. No Terrence is trying to hunt down Roger's courier, but can't quite find him. Oh, he spots him then. This is a little bit of a dogfight going on. No Terry gives up the chase though, and Roger's courier is able to slip away. So both teams position themselves around the mid lane, ready and waiting for this Roche to happen. Still just loads of couriers committed into this Roshan pit. Everyone just wants to constantly scout this out. It's still about a minute away. 39 seconds actually. There's a smoke coming out now from Na'Vi. They're going to try and wrap around the sides, see if they're able to find anything. Looks like Saxo will actually end up breaking the smoke from Iceberg. Iceberg, he just stood there waiting, doing absolutely nothing. Even the special horde now come in. General's the closest one in the front. They're actually going to change their targets. Mid one just trying to focus down Roger now. He's taking a lot of damn damage. But the Infest comes up for Vichu and keeps him nice and healthy for now. Now Vichu's going to try and make enough space. Focus down onto mid one himself. The Thompson's jumped into the back. Just rolling in and out. Can't quite find the connection onto anyone. The arena did actually end up getting committed from General. Tries to bring down Seb. Even Seb's doomed up. So it looks like he might pull from the dot damage. Meanwhile, Roger's getting focused down. So the Magnetize doing so much damn damage. Two members on the side of Na'Vi fall. Now it looks like Saxo's going to pay for this with his life. He ends up dropping down. Nice little Inferno Blade there from Iceberg. Catches out Thompson on the middle of the roll. They're still trying to hunt down General. Once again, a nice spear pushes him away. Vichu takes quite a bit of damage onto him. General eventually ends up falling down. And now the rest of OG are going to swap their attention over to Vichu. He goes for the Rage TP out. And there's no ways to cancel this. They still managed to get the connection onto Roger. He's bought back for this. If he ends up dying, this is going to be disaster. So he's gone for 75 seconds. No buyback. Roche is now up as well. So they're probably going to move straight into this pit and try and take this down. As it ends up being a 4 for 2 trades. 2 buybacks. 1 on Saxo, 1 on Roger. But at least Saxo didn't die back for his. Oh, another roll forwards from Saxo there. Even connects onto Iceberg. He doesn't have enough. His BKB up for 10 seconds. So he might just fall for this. Thompson with the Rage Quill, with just bonus attack speed, doing so much damn damage. There's nothing Iceberg can do to survive. Iceberg does commit, Ice Blast does commit at least, but Saxo's keeping the aggression forward. Maybe wants to make something happen onto V-Tune, but they're just going to give up the chase, going to fall back into the Roche. They don't want to get themselves carried away and then lose the advantage that they do have. The mid one so desperately wanted to get that courier kill, but Roger's not willing to give it up. Try and give as much vision as you possibly can. But there's nothing the side of Na'Vi can do to contest this. So this is going to be Aegis and Cheese Aegis going for Topson, cheese in hands of mid one. E-Blade now on live Topson as well. So could have that even a bit of increased burst damage. Any sort of supports that he finds, get a better shotgun him in the face. He doesn't need no hunting license for that sort of weaponry. What's feature actually building up to this next time? He's still working towards that Skadi. He's still quite a ways away. Doesn't even have enough for a buyback at the moment. And we'll have it in a few more camps, and I think he desperately needs that. Four-man smoke now coming up from the side of OG. Mid one, he's got his Spectral Horn available, so he can always join in these fights if he needs to. Over on the side of OG, they just sort of split up, trying to find something. Topson's smoke end up breaking. Unfortunately, neither side has any sort of vision around that high ground area. And there's very limited vision from the side of Na'Vi just towards this bot lane. They do spot out a couple of members of OG, so realising they're around this area. Meanwhile, OG, they don't have much vision themselves. It's literally just the vision that the creeps are able to provide them on this on the radiant part of the map. We'll still check out the XP leads. 15,000 XP so far for OG. 8k gold lead as well. Even Skadi now online for mid one. Tier 2 falling pretty damn quickly. Basically has the consistency of wet paper at this point in the game. The damage that comes out from the Morphlin and the Spectre at this point is pretty damn high. Mainly the Morphlin when it comes to hitting towers. It's a little shotgun blast there from Topson. Does a load of damage onto Iceberg. He will now be forced to go back to the pool to heal up. Meanwhile, Topson just throwing these little water orbs at the tower. Does so much goddamn damage. He doesn't really have to commit that hard for it. General though, he's going to jump forward, he spears Topson into the trees. With the Heavenly Grace, it reduces the stun time, but long enough that the Iceberg does actually end up hitting. And always want to fly gets jumped on by Topson, drops in a second. General will be forced to probably speak BKB and drops the arena, holding everyone back. It looks like Topson's now trapped all on his own. Lysay will dodge though for him, and he manages to get out just in time. Meanwhile, the rest of OG are committing forward. Mid one, he's trying to dive in, trying to find something. Saxon might have ended up getting caught out though. He's hit by the Nullifier, he's slowed up way too much. And he's ended up massive vacuum wall that comes out from Seb, connects onto 3. But unfortunately, it's not enough follow-up damage from the rest of OG to bring anyone down. Topson even re-engaging. Iceberg barely managed to survive. And now Topson's getting focused on himself. He will manage to turn up. He's got loads of HP now, but healed up from the strength morph. Still, it's only Saxon to actually end up falling. Everyone else at the side of Na'Vi ends up surviving that engagement. And OG's forced to go back. Oh, jump forward from General though. Ooh, maybe thinking he wasn't quite ready to give up the chase just yet. But even still, it's... Oh, yeah, of course, Always Want to Fly died as well. So it was a buyback from him, but I think Na'Vi are fine with that. They held their base. They forced OG back. And they're immediately going to smoke up now and see if they can find something else. There is a double damage up top, but I don't think either team has any vision on this. Oh, Vici will spot that now. It's going to be a very nice little damage buff for him. This is going to be a perfect time for Na'Vi to try and make some sort of engagement happen. Seeing as how they still have Doom available, they've got the AA Blast, even Arena's up now as well, so they've got all their key abilities. They scan up to the high ground. Won't quite find anyone. Ooh. The Shiva's Guard commit there by Iceberg and actually lets everyone OG realise they're there. Unfortunately enough for them, they don't find anything out of this. They don't even get much use out of this double damage, which is a little bit unfortunate. Haste rune? Just ran past Haste rune? No, I was going to do it before I spoke. So it looks like OG, they're going to group up again towards this mid lane. They want them to start working their way back down towards the mid. Special Haunts up in 20 seconds. Ag's actually now online for Iceberg. So he's going to be able to, like, whoever he dooms is going to be doomed for a very, very long time. I assume that's still how the doom works. Or have they changed it? Increases stun duration, burn duration, and applies break. Oh, never mind. Actually, that's a million times better. So Infernal Blade is actually a really nice counter now to the Spectre. You just slap him in the face, break away that dispersion. That's going to really increase the damage that the Spectre takes, whilst also reducing the damage that he deals. So very nice item pick up there by Iceberg. I completely forgot that's how that works. So maybe it could have been worth him actually getting that a little bit sooner. Maybe still, he has it now. We'll see what they're able to do with it. Basher now online for V-Tune as well. I think got his Skadi up. He's not safe for a buyback though, so it is like it's an all-in sort of scenario for him. I think they need every single thing they can get at this point to just try and hold their base. He's only 1,000 gold behind mid one as well, which is pretty good. Especially seeing as how the amount of momentum that it feels like OG has. And they've got 8k gold lead, but V-Tune's doing a good job at keeping himself up to pace with mid one and Thompson. Oh, mid one. Let's go on to the mid tier 2 tower. We're in rotation now, cut off for General. Infested, jumps towards the back, actually gets the spear connection onto Saxo, but he's rolled away, so it's not much they just couldn't quite get enough damage onto him. He was just too far away. So Saxo will manage to survive. Looks like maybe OG, they're just poking upon it now onto Iceberg, doing quite a bit of damage. Mid one's just running straight into the front lines. And they need Iceberg to be nice and healthy so he can actually try and jump onto this Spectre and hit him with that Infernal Blade break. So what is the actual stun duration now then? Burn duration 6 seconds, stun duration 1.75 seconds. It doesn't say how long the break lasts. I imagine it's probably the stun duration the break lasts. Maybe the burn break? The burn duration? If it's the burn duration, that's pretty good. Burn duration and apply. Yeah, so it doesn't say how long the break is. I'd assume it'd be the burn duration, in which case 6 seconds without dispersion, that's pretty damn nice. Thompson just kicking these little rock footballs in and out, just harassing Iceberg. I suppose OG hasn't just forced down this tier 2 tower yet. They will ping it out now. It's just like a pretty easy target for him. It's already pretty much dead. And that completely opens up the base of Na'Vi. I suppose they're just waiting for this creep wave to push in. Tons of creeps. They could probably just take the tower themselves. So mid one, he's got enough money to actually finish up this BKB. Oh, Thompson's courier died. General sniped his courier, and that's an entire Skadi denied away. Jeez, that's quite a big pick-off actually. But everyone on the side of OG, they're rotating around to try and grab this. They will spot V-Tune's going to force him to try and TP away. And even General now pops his BKB and goes for the TP as well. They can't actually survive. General ends up falling. At least V-Tune survived for that. I mean, there is no Mars for 60 seconds, but hey, at least they did manage to deny that Skadi. How long is that courier dead for? 3 minutes 15 seconds without the iron. That's quite a bit of dead gold value. So see if maybe that's enough to potentially hold OG back, but oh, probably not. Roshan's up. They move straight in there, and there's not going to be any sort of reaction in time coming out from Na'Vi to stop this from happening. Is it an Ags now? So it's an Ags. Who are they going to put this in his hands? I'll probably just give it to mid one. Maybe move it around, see what they do with it. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, so going to leave it for mid one's hands. So he's going to have that personalised haunt. Let's see if he's actually able to get much use out of it. Maybe see the first usage, uses it on Always Want to Fly. Potentially gets easy grabbing it, but the Infest comes out of the Vegeta, but it doesn't matter. Thompson just shotguns him back down into the face. And now it's a 4-on-5 situation. Iceberg's now getting focused up. He has to use his BKB and tries to run away. And it will be enough to keep him alive for now, but he's not going to have that BKB available for the next fight. We want double Yule Scepters going on. Just everyone's lifting up, and with this Lotus Orb, make a lot of space. General gets shot guard to the face. He barely manages to survive. He's going to be able to fall back. Meanwhile, Vichu, he's focusing a lot of efforts towards Sark, so it looks like Sexton might just drop. The Doom was committed. Who did it actually go on to? I'm not sure who actually got doomed in the end. Oh, I think it was mid one. So mid one got doomed, but there was no follow-up, so he's easily able to disengage. So it's a 4-on-4 situation at the moment. We'll see if OG want to keep this pressure going. They've still got Aegis and Cheese. Actually, with a buyback from Saxa, so they want to go now. They do not want to wait any longer. So they're going to carry on work onto this tier 3 barracks. A little bit of confusion there with the Spectral Horn. Oh, there's a Hexer comes out to Vichu. He's locked down the place, doing tons of damage. He has to just barely manage to escape with that rage and run away. Oh, I was super close to him falling. I don't think he even has buyback. He doesn't have buyback, so if he fell then, that would have been disaster for the side of Na'Vi. But lucky for him, he just barely managed to survive. But it's this space for OG to finally finish up this bottom lane of barracks. And they're going to immediately head towards the mid. So the amount of damage that Topson can do to these buildings is so damn much, these right clicks. And just throwing out all these adaptive strikes everywhere, doing loads of damage. Left, right, and centre. Saxon rolls into the back. Meanwhile, though, the General and Vichu, they get a grab onto Seb. It looks like Seb will eventually fall. Meanwhile, in the back, Mid-1 manages to bring down a return kill onto Always Want to Fly. Immediately by Black well. Looks like No Tail gets gone on by the rest of Na'Vi. They will manage to find the kill. Vichu gets bring down low. He's not going to be able to survive. He's gone for 100 seconds. No buyback. So now it's this General and Iceberg trying to escape. Iceberg's forced to do his BKB. He's going to try and run away. General, he has no such luck. He ends up dropping. Iceberg, he blink daggers up to the high ground, trying to go for the TP out. The stun from Saxa is not quite there in time, so he will manage to survive for now. Mid-1 though, he's keeping this pressure going. Nearly manages to bring down Always Want to Fly. But the Glimmer Cape keeps him alive for now. Oh, Iceberg, he goes in for a little Infernal Blade break onto him, but the cheese gets popped from mid-1, so he's back up to full HP, full mana. Ned's going to keep this pressure going. The Ice Blast, though, not quite on the mark. Just passes through Topson on the... just to apply the effect, but none of the burst damage. Mid lane of Rack's gone, and Ned's going to immediately head up towards the top lane. It is still a 3-on-3, but there's the high targets on Na'Vi gone. The jump forward from Iceberg gets a doom onto mid-1, but now he's left all alone. This is a very suicidal jump forwards. Even the Chaos Hammer, Havoc Hammer, sorry, that came out from Saxa just to tap Iceberg in the back and finish him off. He's just going to keep jumping forwards though, jumps forward onto Topson, and that will be enough to actually force him back for now. So Na'Vi, they finally push away. It cost them so damn much. A lot of buybacks used, and well, they saved their top laner racks at least. They're not getting mega just yet. Right, Topson's carrier's alive again, so now he's going to be able to get his Skadi. And he's even queued up for Reave. What's this going to be? A Satanic, I imagine? Just even increasing his survivability even more. Oh, he even finished up Satanic straight away. So this next engagement, Topson has 2 extra items. So you thought he was a pain in the ass before. Now he's even more of a pain in the ass. Meanwhile, mid-1's farm is absolutely massively ahead. Oh, jump forward though. Connects onto General. Jesus Christ, he disappears. The Gladiator falls super quick. Jump forward once again from Topson. He puts the Remnant onto Vichu and hold him back in place, but there's no other follow-up. So Vichu will be able to survive. There is a buyback available for General. He's probably going to be forced to use it, otherwise they're going to get megaed. He will now use it. Meanwhile, the rest of their base is getting sieged up. Infest jumps into General. They wanted to ready and waiting to jump in here. But even still, just all these very long range harassing, just keeping him back. His Blink Dagger is always on cooldown. Meanwhile, Saxon, he gets hit by a levitation. He's getting focused up now. The Iceberg pops his BKB, trying to stand his ground. Meanwhile, mid-1's just jumping into the back lines, kills off the support of Always Want to Fly, bringing the focus efforts onto Roger. But meanwhile, the rest of the cores of Na'Vi now get focused up by the tier 4 towers. The BKB runs out for Iceberg, and he drops in a second. Gone for 2 minutes. The arena finally gets committed by General. Pin stops to the side, but he's so damn tanky, he's not taking any damage at all. He's just going to try and stand his ground, turn it around. Saxon's now getting laid into by Vichu. There's just too much sustain coming out from the side of OG. They can't quite bring him down. He's easily able to fall back. So it's a 3-on-5 situation. I don't think there's anything Na'Vi can do. I think this is just game over. Even Roger gets caught out. It's just 2 versus 5, and they'll call it. GG, well played from Roger. And Na'Vi tap out. They're done. Very, very, very exciting series there from OG. Just In true OG fashion, in both of those series, it was this constant pressure, not letting up. I mean, many a team, they'd probably, like, after some of those scenarios, they'd fall back, they'd farm, they'd try and pick up a few items, but OG, as soon as anyone sort of showed their face on the side of Na'Vi, they were, like, moving towards that area, trying to carry on applying the pressure and just limiting the space that Na'Vi could actually farm up. And eventually, the Spectre, it just got too damn big. And there was nothing that V-Tune, Iceberg, or General could really do to stop him. And yeah, they just get wiped the floor with. OG, absolutely annihilate him. That's that pure orangutan ganja for you. Absolutely dismantling Na'Vi left, right, and centre. But if you guys have enjoyed this cast and you've enjoyed the content I've been able to provide, then please think about following me in the future on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. I post on Twitter what I'm going to be casting in advance. So yeah, if you've enjoyed me and you want to support me, then yeah, please follow me in the future and stay tuned for what's coming up next, which will be Liquid vs Alliance, which should be in about 50 minutes if you're watching live. If not, on YouTube, you can watch that afterwards. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Cheers.